Lisa and Dave cherished their tranquil walks in the woods of Kent. The ancient towering trees, the soft rustling of leaves, and the sweet melodies of unseen birds were a soothing balm to their souls. They found solace in the embrace of nature, their worries fading with each step they took along the moss-covered paths. They felt a sense of peace amidst the verdant beauty, a welcome respite from their bustling city lives. Little did they know a big black leopard lurked in the shadows, something ancient and unseen. The woods held a timeless allure, their dappled sunlight filtering through the canopy. The air was fresh, carrying the scent of pine and damp earth. Each step was a symphony of crunching leaves and snapping twigs. It was a sanctuary, or so they thought. Their peaceful walks were a ritual they both held dear, a ritual soon to be shattered. One crisp autumn evening, as the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the woodland floor, Lisa and Dave embarked on their usual path. A sense of unease permeated the air, a subtle shift that neither of them could quite place. The forest seemed unusually still, the bird song absent, replaced by an unsettling silence. It was as if the woods themselves were holding their breath. As they rounded a bend, a large, shadowy figure darted across their path. It moved with an unnatural speed and agility that made their blood run cold. They stopped dead in their tracks, hearts pounding in their chests. Their eyes darted around, searching for any sign of the creature, but it had vanished as quickly as it had appeared. A shiver ran down Lisa's spine. Dave, ever the pragmatist, tried to rationalize the sighting. "Probably just a deer," he said, his voice trembling slightly. But deep down, neither of them truly believed it. There was something about the creature's movement, something about its size and shape, that defied explanation. Fear, primal and instinctive, began to take root in their hearts. In the days that followed, a palpable sense of unease settled over Lisa. The once familiar woods now seemed ominous and threatening. She couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched, their every move scrutinized by unseen eyes. The peaceful sanctuary had transformed into a place of lurking shadows and whispered secrets. She began to notice strange occurrences on their walks. Footprints, too large to belong to any known animal, appeared overnight. Trees that had stood tall for centuries were found inexplicably toppled over. The air, once filled with the sweet melodies of birdsong, was now punctuated by eerie creaks and groans. Dave, ever the skeptic, tried to dismiss Lisa's concerns as nerves. He suggested that the footprints belonged to a lost cow, the fallen trees a result of strong winds. But even he couldn't deny the growing sense of unease that permeated their once peaceful walks. The woods were different now, tainted by an unseen presence that sent shivers down their spines. One evening, as dusk settled over the woods, casting long, eerie shadows, Lisa and Dave returned to the spot of their initial encounter. The forest pressed in on them, the trees looming like silent sentinels. There, in the fading light, stood the creature. Its eyes glowed with an unnatural intensity. A primal fear gripped Lisa's heart. Dave reached for her hand, his grip strong and reassuring. Section 5. Haunted Slumber. Sleep offered no escape for Lisa. Night after night she was plagued by vivid nightmares. The creature from the woods haunted her dreams. She would wake in a cold sweat, her heart pounding. The sheets twisted around her like a shroud. The line between dreams and reality blurred, her waking hours filled with dread. Dave, too, seemed changed. He claimed to sleep soundly, but Lisa noticed the dark circles under his eyes. He would jump at the slightest noise. It was as if they had both been touched by something sinister, something that had seeped into their waking lives. Section 6. Shadows of Doubt. As the days turned into weeks, Doubt began to gnaw at Lisa's mind. Could it be that the creature was merely a figment of their imaginations, a manifestation of their deepest fears, brought to life by the shadows of the woods? She desperately wanted to believe it, to dismiss the entire experience as a shared delusion. However, the evidence was difficult to ignore. The footprints, the fallen trees, the strange noises, they all pointed to something real, something sinister lurking in the woods. And then there were the nightmares, so vivid, so real, that they couldn't be dismissed as mere figments of their imaginations. Dave, ever the pragmatist, tried to rationalize the events. He scoured the internet for explanations, consulted wildlife experts, even contacted local authorities. But every lead turned into a dead end, every explanation falling short. The truth, elusive and terrifying, remained shrouded in mystery. Determined to find answers, Lisa and Dave decided to confront their fears head-on. Armed with flashlights and a newfound determination, they ventured back into the woods, heading straight for the spot of their last encounter. The air was thick with anticipation, the silence broken only by the sound of their own footsteps. As they reached the bend in the path, the hair on the back of Lisa's neck stood on end. The air grew heavy, charged with an unseen energy. She could feel her heart pounding in her chest, her breath catching in her throat. Dave squeezed her hand reassuringly, his eyes scanning the woods around them. Suddenly the forest fell silent. The wind died down, the rustling of leaves ceased. Even the distant hooting of an owl seemed to be swallowed by the oppressive stillness. It was as if the woods themselves were holding their breath, bracing for something momentous. Out of the darkness, a figure emerged. It wasn't the creature they had seen before, the one that haunted their dreams. This figure was human in form, yet there was an ethereal quality about it, an otherworldly glow that seemed to emanate from within. It approached them slowly, its footsteps making no sound on the forest floor. As it drew closer, Lisa could make out the features of a woman, her face etched with a sadness that seemed to transcend time. Her eyes, though filled with a deep sorrow, held a strange sense of peace. The woman stopped a few feet away from them, her gaze fixed on Lisa. "You're not in danger," she said, her voice a soft whisper that seemed to come from the trees themselves. "The creature means you no harm. It is merely a guardian, a protector of this ancient place." The woman's words, though intended to reassure, did little to ease Lisa's fear. The creature, a guardian? A protector? What was it guarding? And from whom? She had so many questions, but before she could voice them, the woman began to fade. "Be at peace," she whispered, her voice growing fainter. "The woods hold no malice towards you, but be warned, not all who wander these paths are as they seem." And with those cryptic words, she vanished into the night, leaving Lisa and Dave alone with their thoughts and a lingering sense of dread. The encounter left them with more questions than answers. Who was the woman? What did her cryptic warning mean? And what was the true nature of the creature that haunted these woods? As they made their way back home, the forest seemed to press in on them once more, the shadows whispering secrets they couldn't quite grasp. Lisa and Dave never returned to the woods. The encounter with the ghostly woman, coupled with the ever-present memory of the creature, had left an indelible mark on their souls. They had glimpsed a world beyond their understanding, a world where the lines between reality and the supernatural blurred. They tried to move on with their lives, to put the experience behind them. But the woods held a strange allure, a siren song that whispered to them in their dreams. And though they never spoke of it aloud, they both knew deep down that their encounter in the woods of Kent was not truly over. The questions lingered unanswered, like shadows in the corners of their minds. The woods held their secrets close, the truth hidden beneath a veil of rustling leaves and ancient trees, and Lisa and Dave were left to grapple with the knowledge that some mysteries are not meant to be solved, some encounters forever etched in the annals of their lives.